about the issues plaguing the public procurement system since we started this project in early 2018 and have recorded the issues surrounding the implementation and the rollout of the new procurement system under the Public Procurement Act of 2015. So, as I stated, the PPU annual report, which is a combined annual report for the 2017-18, 2018-19, and 2019-20 financial years, sort of lays out a lot of the issues that, if you remember back to the previous Procurement Tracker 13, where we once again sort of spotlighted some of the compliance concerns that have bedeviled the public procurement system since implementation from about April 2017. And if you go back to Procurement Tracker 13, this one is Procurement Tracker 15, you'll see a lot of the issues that we addressed 2 editions ago actually once again surface in the PPU report that was tabled in the National Assembly in October. So let's get straight into it. So the systemic problems. So some of what we, as I said, this was from a combined annual report for the financial years 2017-18, 2019-20, and we lay out in our feature the challenges and problems listed by the Procurement Policy Unit for those sort of lessons of those 3 financial years. So firstly, there was a lack of capacity. It's a recurring issue within the public procurement system, within the PPU, the Procurement Policy Unit, within the Central Procurement Board, at review panel level, and also lower down in these points at individual organizational level. There are issues around staffing and capacity and so forth within these procurement structures across the state. And these are issues that, I mean, we've sort of spotlighted previously very extensively, and these have come up again in this combined annual report of the Central Procurement Policy Unit. If I go to fast, please just indicate that I should slow down. Another issue that has come up, not just in reports, but also in discussions that we've had, is the issue of the slow release of funds from entities by the Treasury, especially over the last few years, where the state funding, the fiscal situation has been depressed quite considerably and has become even more so over the last year and a half due to COVID-19. And this has introduced uncertainties in the execution of public procurement by public entities. As I indicated, there was once again the issue of a lack of internal procurement structures within public entities. And this has led to overspending by public entities unaccounted for expenditures, which is a big problem that is also recurrently being addressed by the Office of the Auditor General when doing the books of public entities. The other big issue, of course, is the one that we continuously spotlight around transparency, is the issue of the production and accessibility of annual procurement plans and quarterly procurement reports, of course. And this is also related to the state of internal procurement structures within public entities. Of course, this is influenced by budget as well. There has been the recurrence also of frequent non-compliance with the procedures as provided by the rule of the regulatory framework, and specifically international bidding, which should be the default, but if you look at our previous Procurement Tracker 14, you have seen that direct procurement, emergency procurement have become sort of form a large part of the procurement methods used. And then there are issues with record keeping in terms within the public procurement state, public procurement sector across the state. Record keeping is problematic. So implementation of procurement as funding is obtained from foreign sources. We've seen this also come up where Namibian government gets loans or funding from international or continental organizations, financial institutions, or donors, and have these sorts of funding agreements come with their own procurement measures, and this often means that the Public Procurement Act, the measures under the Public Procurement Act have to be set aside, and procurement has to be done based on the procurement measures provided by these entities, these foreign financial and donor institutions. Then there's the issue of poor contract management by public entities, resulting in lost value due to the lack of enforcement of remedial measures in the event of breach of contract by contractors or suppliers. And this is an issue that is highly problematic. We've seen how we've seen reports of how many projects, especially construction projects, over the last 5 years or so, and even longer, have been abandoned by contractors, and poor quality work has become a problem. The Minister of Works in late 2019 spoke about, I think it was in the region of nearly 100 abandoned construction and development projects that were just standing idle, and where contractors had actually been paying. So this is a very big issue that needs to be addressed within the public procurement system, the poor contract management by public entities. Then there's the issue of preferential guidelines, the absence of such guidelines. There's been a lot of complaints over the years about, especially small and medium enterprises around this specific issue. The lack of e-government procurement. This is really an issue that the Minister of Finance just in Parliament, I think it was last week when he made his mid-term budget speech, also spotlighted the issue of e-procurement going forward, and how this will improve and speed up the procurement processes, both at national government level and at individual organizational levels. The absence of standard coding documents. This is, we have to keep in mind that this report is up to, speaks to the situation up to end of March 2020. And to a large extent, the specific issue has been, the issue of standard coding documents has been addressed substantially since April 2020 to this year. So this is one area, I think, where the PPU, Procurement Policy Unit, has been very proactive. Then there's the issue of lack of capacity and understanding new standard documents by public entities. And this goes back to the issue of capacity in general within the public procurement system. An assessment was done a few years ago of capacity levels within the really did not have the qualifications to be able to be considered professionals within the public procurement system, which is one of the objectives of the new Public Procurement Act, to move the whole procurement system towards greater professionalism. So technical capacity and understanding of issues and structures and the way of doing things within the procurement system has been a considerable issue. So these were some of the challenges. I'm not putting all of them. The list, as you can see, this list is actually quite extensive, and it speaks to considerable weaknesses within the public procurement sector. So some of the solutions that are proposed in this combined annual report of the Procurement Policy Unit, of course, more staff and expedited employment processes, both at PPU level, at CPPN, at the Central Procurement Board level, at review panel, at individual organizational levels, to bring in professional and capacitated staff into these structures. As I indicated, the PPU should develop all standard bidding documents, improve existing bidding documents. To a large extent, this particular challenge has already been significantly addressed. And then, of course, this is one of the areas that we feel needs to get greater attention, is the issue of a proper monitoring framework, monitoring system to monitor what's happening within the public procurement system. And this would help inform, of course, reporting by the PPU, and also hold individual organizations accountable if real-time monitoring and reporting is done. There needs to be, I've addressed the issue of capacity at individual organizational level, but there needs to be a serious reconsideration of the use of procurement methods and how, especially emergency procurement and direct procurement, have been used and abused within the public procurement system over the last years. And actually, since this new system has been operationalized since April 2017, there needs to be an improvement in oversight over the public procurement system, procurement processes, and this would help in addressing issues around emergency procurement and direct procurement, and which procurement methods are actually used or deployed by procuring entities. And there needs, of course, to be continuous engagement with stakeholders to try and assess what stakeholders are thinking about what's happening in the procurement system, and to honestly sort of identify problems and challenges within the system, and to address these in real time as they might arise. Of course, these speak to long-term interventions, not things that mostly would be able to be implemented sort of immediate. But they do point to the intention and the thinking to be moving towards greater efficiency within the public procurement system. Some of the solutions that are proposed, recommendations, these are not all of them. Once again, the list is quite extensive, and I would encourage you, if you're able to, please go take a look at the report. There's a great deal there that can be explored, and for the media, there are some things there that need to be investigated. So the PPU to coordinate development of preferential guidelines. This, I think, this is a process that is ongoing. Yeah, okay. needs to be prioritized. I think this realization is already there within the Ministry of Finance and within various levels of government. The standard billing documents issue that is being addressed. And I mean, these are just some of the recommendations. And if you look back at the issues that we've, at previous editions of Procurement Tracker, you'll see how a history of a lot of these issues and how we've addressed them, and what the responses have been from government with regard to a lot of these issues over time. So that's basically it. I just wanted to spotlight these. This is our feature. Thank you. Just go. Just trying to help this. I want to take you to the latest edition of Procurement Tracker. Right, so it's already on the website. You can go and take a look at it there on the IPR website. So what I just the presentation I just went through looks at the issues that emerge in that we're addressing in the front page feature. And then of course there's the statement made by the Minister in the midterm budget speech around capacity issues and the new code of good practices that has just recently been issued. We couldn't get hold of this code, unfortunately, for this edition, but we'll take a look at it in the future, in our first edition for next year, and assess that particular document. And then there was the issue of, the capacity issue was addressed, and as well as the issue of e-procurement going forward. Darkness around the iron curtain. This is something that we've been looking at around Parliament. If you go that way, you'll see that around Parliament precincts, a black iron fence has been erected on the outside, and we just sort of spotlight that this particular procurement doesn't appear in the National Assembly or Parliament's annual procurement plan either for 2019-20 or 2020-2021. So we couldn't find that in there. And we don't have access to we don't have access to the annual procurement plan for the current financial year. National Assembly still hasn't submitted this. Seems to not have submitted its annual procurement plan for the current financial year. So we could also not find this particular procurement in the 2020-2021 quarterly procurement reports of the National Assembly. We could also not find it, maybe it was City of Windhoek, but we couldn't find this in the City of Windhoek's annual procurement plan either. For 2020-2021, we don't have access to the current annual procurement plan of the City of Windhoek. So I mean, it's just something that needs to be looked at. When was this contract awarded? This fence went up mid-year this year. When was this contract awarded? Who was the awarded? We don't know. Why was it awarded? We've recently reported in one of our other publications on this particular procurement item. So it will be interesting to see what the responses are regarding this particular procurement. So, we sent some questions to the Ministry of Finance, and they actually only responded last week.
When did you say
In mid-August. So 2.5 months later, we Yeah, we could use co-working as the excuse for everything about everything at the moment. I'm not saying I don't do it, but so I mean, and 2.5 months later, we received these responses to some of the issues that have emerged during this year. Some questions from procurement whether some investigations have been done around specific issues that have come up in the media, such as sanitizer procurements that are very suspicious and known to be highly overpriced. And then also issues around procurement actions that have lapsed or been cancelled that we felt needed to be addressed and needed responses to. Then we also once again spotlight using once again that combined annual report of the PPU, looking at transparency compliance. And I mean the PPU itself finds that there's very low level. If you look at compliance, a very low level of compliance. If you look at this, it has improved over the years. And you see that table. All right. So in terms of 2017-18, in terms of category 1, public procurement entities, I will explain what the categories are here. You can go and take a look at the regulations. You can see actually how in 2017-18, only 8 out of 48 category 1 public procurement entities actually have annual procurement plans, annual procurement plans. By 2019-20, 41 out of 48 had submitted annual procurement plans. And so it goes. There are, according to this report of the Procurement Policy Unit, there are 192 public procuring entities, which is higher than a figure we previously reported, 178, that appears in a previous document of the Procurement Policy Unit. So I mean, there's you can take a look at that, just our analysis of that. Then there's a regular feature of ours, public procurement in the news. There was the whole issue of the job on Panda accusing higher education minister Frederico of procurement corruption around the development of a student village. Then also the issue of the NAS officials who were implicated in this, in the procurement of a private accommodation for students that landed them in trouble. If you look at the specific, this particular instance of this specific case, that particular procurement does not appear in the procurement plan or in the quarterly procurement reports, and it seems that the administration of the university did not know about this specific contract. We looked at those procurement plans and reports to see what was in there. And then there was, of course, the government hospital food tender that was cancelled just a few weeks ago. And we sort of sketched the situation. If you look at the way public procurement is reported in the media, the tendency is generally negative. Issues that are coming up in terms of public procurement. And then just we spotlight a screenshot of a lot of the interesting sections within the PPU's combined annual report. And these are areas that I think will be of interest to the media going forward. So this is, that's it. That's our last edition for 2021. I hope that if there's anything that you have to say about quality of publications, we encourage that. So with that said, that's the end of my presentation. Yes, sure.
I think my background is medical. I was involved in the Ministry of Health for 58 years. I was involved with CMAS for 25 years. And I was medical superintendent of the Olympic Central Hospital and the Tunas for 15 years. I've worked in together for over 30 years. And I think everybody is entitled to his opinion, but everybody is not entitled to his own set of facts. And we now in the fourth industrial revolution, which means everything we do, input, central processing unit, output, can be measured. And I think what we are doing here, we are measuring things of input and output. And we don't have opinions anymore. We have explanations. We don't have opinions. I think this is a forum where people must be transparent, open, and accountable. And, you know, people have excuses. I think the word challenges comes up quite often. And a challenge implies, am I overloaded? Am I not competent or experienced enough? Where do I need help to provide service excellence? I think in South Africa, in SADC, in Namibia, the pattern is very similar. We've had freedom, but we must learn to deliver services as promised to the people. And people vote for us on the basis of promises and manifestos. And they expect us to learn and improve on the way. But if one looks at South Africa, looks at Namibia to certain extent, we have a pattern where we have human failings, either competence, capacity, or corruption. And the average person, I think, expects more of the trust given for us to lift our people up for real independence. Because real independence means I have the opportunity provided by a stable, peaceful, democratic environment to look after myself. That's independence, not a handout. In Namibia, I think there's an article with about 770,000 people out of 2.5 million depend on one other form of social grants, whether it's pension or orphan or disability. And I think, you know, the forum of IPPR is to open up. And I just want to refer maybe to Singapore. Singapore is the most successful city-state which emerged from a swamp after World War II. And their principles are MPH. M for merit, competence, discretion, experience, qualifications. N for merit. P for pragmatism. Collaborate, cooperate, compromise for the desired outcome. Be realistic. Be human. And the H part is honesty, integrity. I think that's extremely important. And that's why to have their checks and balances to keep us on the straight and narrow for service delivery. Because in the end, that's what people want. And service delivery is beneficial to everybody, not just the ruling party or the opposition. Everybody benefits from service delivery. It's a non-negotiable outcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we have to continue sort of pressing in this discussion was around issues of corruption and integrity and so on, and complying with the law. Because of this culture of non-compliance that has taken hold in the system. And to now try and address this in part through actually moving systems online into e-procurement systems. So I mean, these are processes and intentions that are sort of in the offing. But I mean, as we've pointed out in the previous procurement tracker, the Procurement Policy Unit has sort of indicated in one of its documents that the system will only be fully capacitated at some point shortly after this. So the system will probably only function optimally at some point around 2031, 2032, which is a whole decade. So I mean, in the meantime, you know, we have to keep in mind, we have to monitor what's happening in the public procurement system. So yeah, I mean, that's part of what this project is all about.
Yeah, thank you. I think all of your organization interacting with these aspects of looking into the public policy issues. I think currently I'm finding it very because of the lack of this bill that is now going around the country access to information.
Yeah.
I hope maybe after that bill is become a law, your work will probably be better. Maybe not that easy. Yeah. Yeah, but my comment is really on two fronts. The first one is, I think the tender board of the Public Procurement Unit, they are also really focusing on the background check of the company that awarded this tender. I'll give you an example of the Ministry of Home Affairs, right? It has taken so long for that project to be finished. It's not even finished, but it looks like we are about to get there now. So the question is, did they really check on the background of the company that they awarded this tender? Because that's actually important to look at the background check, their capacity, financial aspects. This will help them to actually avoid the tenders to people who can really carry out the work. And possible they must also maybe put in a time frame that this project should be finished by this time. Otherwise, there should be penalty companies like that. So I think the other aspect of my comment from the human rights point of view is that I have seen some companies benefiting from government tenders year in, year out, raking in billions of dollars, but they don't plow into the poor communities. So what is employees for that matter? We have people that we can give credit who have not benefited from government tenders, but they are building classrooms, they are building clinics. Maybe this is not the right platform to mention names, but the entire prime minister is good example. So these are things that the procurement unit needs to factor into. That those people who are benefiting from government tenders must really plow into the community. Because we have situations where schools in the rural areas is under trees. Now rain is coming. What are we going to do now? 31 years after independence, the government has really made other people religion, but they didn't do anything to the community. So those are my comments.
Yeah. And And I think a lot of this is actually, if you look at the mandate of the procurement policy, a lot of that actually just speaks to that. You know, sort of monitoring, that sort of public awareness and education, what is expected of companies that are contractors like so I mean that's these are issues that really I think over time. Excuse me, gentlemen. Yeah, let's we can speak afterwards. So that those are issues that over time, hopefully, as the monitoring system becomes better, that this is addressed appropriately. Of course, one of the stated reasons why this new Public Procurement Act was actually brought into force, was developed, was to deal with the issue around these briefcase companies that have become a feature under the old tender board system, the tender system, people operating out of their carbons and their briefcases and so on, not really having a company structure in place, having no employees, but winning big tenders and so on. So that was one of the stated intentions, to deal with this specific issue because of this. A whole sector had developed that didn't, where people were one-man companies were tendering for all sorts of government contracts again, and there was a general lack of accountability and transparency in that system. And this was the stated aim of one of the aims of why we have this new system. So I mean, and this is also one of those areas that really needs to be over time improved upon. So yeah, I mean, so those are the issues.
Thanks. Thanks, Lee. I think for me, maybe I'm just trying to understand because you are saying with this procurement, it's maybe one would wish or hope for it to be effectively or to respond. You are saying around maybe 2020 or 23. I don't know why I would want to understand your thinking why you believe maybe at the moment it's not sufficient equipped to respond. And maybe I'm also just trying to understand the inadequacy that you have observed in this information capacity. I'm trying to understand when we talk capacity, what are we talking about? Is it the qualification? Is it the understanding of the responsibility? I think sometimes we are not doing justice to the process if we just label something and then we don't really pinpoint the deficiencies that are there, and then we are able to act. Because for me, if it's capacity, I want to understand what angle that you are reasoning from to arrive that this is the inadequacy in the system. So maybe that's the only way as we are engaging, we are able then to have understanding on how best to help the system here and there.
So, in one of our previous, but the report is available on the Procurement Policy Unit's webpage. You can access it, and it gives you exactly the specifics of the capacity issues. And we spotlighted this report in one of our previous bulletins. I don't think it was one of the ones we did this year. It was last year, if I'm not mistaken. And in that report, this IMF report, they have very specific areas that they address when we're talking about capacity issues, the qualifications, the experience, the level of training and education of the people involved in public procurement and so forth, and what a professional system would look like, what a professional procurement official would look like in terms of qualifications and experience and that. And in that document actually states that terms of the assessment done across the state, in terms of the capacity issues, the optimal capacity level within the public procurement system will only be reached at some point beyond 2030. Where they can say that there are adequate number of technical experts within the procurement system at national government level, at individual organizational levels, and so forth, and what their level of qualifications are, and so forth. That report, that IMF World Bank report, actually says that level will only be reached sometime after 2030. And part of that is why this qualification collaboration with NAS, Bingham, and Nippon was unveiled this year. And should be able to produce these procurement professionals that the system needs over the coming years to reach that point where we have enough people, capacitated people in the system at that point in 2030. So that's 10 years, a 10-year period, starting from this year onwards. So I mean, during that period, you can take a look at the report and what it says there. But we sort of have it summarized in one of our previous, I think it was last year. So take a look at that. So I mean, but during this 10-year period, it's important that we keep an eye on what's happening in the system. As things could actually become worse before they become good. And that is something that we have to monitor going forward. Yeah, I think we'll not keep this on. It seems to be acting up. Are there any other questions or comments at this stage?
Notice in 70, I'm looking back. I'm looking forward with hope, but I'm looking back with hindsight. And that's probably the best sight that we have, hindsight. That means experience, mistakes you've made, and lessons you've learned. Without mistakes, you don't learn unless you repeat the mistake. I think one of my colleagues has a practice called Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem means seize the day. And the other saying is, if you have something to do, you do it now. Justice delayed is justice denied. And it applies to virtually anything we do, whether it's justice, or education, or health, or planning. If you delay it, you postpone it, and you may end up not doing it. A lot of our people think New Year is the time when we do things. But in fact, my philosophy is every morning when you wake up, you must check that you are on the same goal or mission to make a difference that day to end up at the end of the year. Don't wait for New Year, because New Year it's not a time when you feel of celebrations in all that good shape. I think every day, think in 24-hour cycles with a long-term vision.
No, I think you impart perhaps a lot of information, knowledge with our procurement officials. So, folks, if there are no other questions, I think we'll end it there. I'd just like to thank you once again very much for making the time this morning to be here with us. And we will be back in the new year with